So this morning I jumped into Sketchup, the web app, and I'm jumping on here because I'm going to do a training series for how to navigate this and use it and all that. Anyway, when I opened it up, there's a little notification up here that mentioned something I had never seen before, and it was called this dissolve. It's right here now. It's or diffusion, sorry, diffusion. No idea what it was. So I opened it up and started playing around with it, and this is really cool. So if we open it up here, here's what I first saw. It says, diffusion. I literally had a box like this. The little default guy was here holding a ukulele. And it said, describe the image you'd like to generate. And so my first thought was, oh, this is interesting. You probably type in what you want to see, and it just gives you a model of that thing. And so I just quickly thought of what I could that was complex. So I typed in let's do it over here. Typed in a grenade, and then I added with the pin half pulled. I think that's what I put in, something like that. I just thought it'd be something a little bit complex and see what it came up with, And I just hit the generate. And you see it's doing its thing over here. Robots are doing their thing. So I'm expecting to see a drawing of a grenade that's going to pop up like where the blue box is there for my pencil. It's still working. It's a little bit slow. After I played with it for 5 minutes, I started to understand better what it does. And so I get why it's taking a little while. It's trying to figure some stuff out. Okay. So over here, here's the picture of my screen. And then down here are the things that showed up. And so I click on it. I don't see a grenade at my pencil. I don't see anything on this screen. I just see my box, this guy. So I picked a couple of them. And there's like just these crazy little images. And so I hit the download image. Let's see what happens if I go to my downloads. It gets like this military guy. Looks like a tennis ball, and then my box that I drew here. But like it's all, I don't know, it's just weird. It's a strange little scene. It wasn't what I was expecting, but it got me quickly to realize what was going on. And in 5 minutes, I realized that this thing is absolutely amazing. I think it's very, very early for SketchUp, but it's incredible. So let me show you what it does. And I'm going to use one of my son's tricks. He's 13 and he has the tendency to underemphasize just about everything. So for instance, we went to Disney a couple of weeks ago and we walked in, it was absolutely packed. There were people everywhere. And my son who's 13 looks and he goes, whoa, Dad, there's got to be at least 25 people here. In that same vein, I think there's 4 or 5 people who may lose their jobs because of this program. So let me show you kind of what it does. Well, first of all, let's go to a different project. Don't save that. Let's just open something generic that I have in here. All right. All right, so here's a house that I had been working on. It's not anywhere close to finished. It's in a very raw stage for a customer developing some concepts. So I just wanted to see what it would do if I wanted to see if it would do what I thought it would do. So I went here and I typed in wooded lots on the shore of Lake Huron. And then I hit generate. Okay, it's doing its thing. The robots are doing their thing. And what I realized quickly is that it's taking this image, or whatever you have in your viewfinder here, it's looking at that, and it is going to try and do all of the rendering work that you might do in V-Ray or Lumion or anything like that, but only based on the description that you give it up at the top here. Okay, so this is very raw. I don't have much to this image. There are no textures, there's nothing. In fact, the roof line here is just, they're not even drawn together. It's just two different shapes that are on top of each other to give this roof line temporarily. But it looked at this, and here's what it's kicking back. I mean, look at this. This is incredible. Let me download the image. There we go. It's not super photorealistic. It's really not. Okay, it is entry level V-Ray at best. Okay, but this one, it's not bad, and they can get better. I mean, some of them are really pretty good. And if you can see here, it's interpreting a lot of things. Like, it added these decks on the side. This railing's a little weird. It's obviously looking at some of the edges and trying to figure out what's going on. They added the windows all around. It did a lot of things here. It did it all automatically. Let's look at this one. I mean, this is incredible. Look at this. Put it right at the edge of the lake. It gave it additional character, even added a vent up here, up in the gable, and this is all just from typing in some sort of a background. So, let's put it like in the mountains of Colorado. Let's say Boulder, Colorado. With a stream running behind it. Generate. You see how useful this is going to be for people who are in architectural design, people who are building products and want to place those products inside of a room or give it some sort of a texture. Let's see. So here put it, kind of put it right inside of the stream. It added a big old window up here. It gave it a beam, some shingle siding at the top, vertical cedar plank siding at the bottom. I mean, it gave a lot of extra detail. A slate roof. I don't know why this is diffusion from Sketchup. This is incredible. It made it like a barn. It made it so that it enters into the water. We put it in the mountains, put it in a wooded background. This is really just incredible. I wonder if we can say, I haven't really played with this much. Let's see. I'm going to call it a beach house on the ocean. No, let's say, because this is going on Lake Huron. On Lake Huron with, let's say, 4-inch vinyl siding and windows on the front of the house. The house will be in the middle of let's say a 1/4 acre grass field surrounded by trees. I have no idea what's going to come of this. I'm just trying to make stuff up and see what it generates. By the way, there are some settings here. Respect the model geometry. or the prompt influence, the prompt being what we wrote here. Okay, so here's what it kicked back. Oops. Wow. I mean, you see how it's making a bunch of things up, but it put it on like a sandy surface here. It gave me my 1/4 acre of yard. It put it on the lake. Um, let me jump in. Let's see if we play with some of this. Surrounded by trees. Let's do 4-inch. Let's change this to blue vinyl siding. Surrounded by trees. Let's play with some of this real quick. You can see it's changing some of the dimensions in some of these. So let's bump up respect model geometry and see what it says. Robots are doing their thing. I mean, this is remarkably fast. This is okay. So you can see from the first image, it barely added any real details anyway. It assumed that, let's see, let's download this one. It assumed that what's up in here is windows, I think because of this drawing line that's here. But otherwise didn't really add much more to the house. It looks more like a SketchUp drawing where somebody has just put some materials to each of these products and then maybe played with the light settings a little bit and then added, of course, the backgrounds, which are pretty solid. So by upping how much we respect the model geometry, it obviously follows much more closely to what I have here. So if we were to take this down, let's come back to about halfway. Let it be a little bit creative, and let's up the prompt influence. See what we get. So one thing that popped up a couple times, and I think, yeah, so right here it says, this is from the labs department at SketchUp, and this thing is in its early days for diffusion. So clearly, I think maybe it only came out a couple of days ago, or a couple of weeks maybe, but this is brand new, and it's something that I think is going to be a game changer for people who do any sort of modeling here and need to present to clients or to people who are buying designs to give it some sort of photorealism. This is, let's see, download image. All right, so we got our blue siding, blue vinyl siding. It's going vertical. It obviously added just a lot of details here. It put it right on the beach. It added some weird little grass spots. It's not perfect. It's not, but it's on its early days. And this is pretty impressive. Let's take a look at another one here. I mean, that's pretty cool. Even added a boat over here on the side. That's pretty neat. If we jump, let's see if we can jump inside here. Okay, we can get a shot of the kitchen. Okay, we'll present. All right, so we'll set our viewfinder here. This is our view. Let's go this way. And there's some weird stuff here. I mean, I've got, these are where two just solids come together. This line that serves no purpose. Again, this is just a rough drawing. It's very early in its stages to start building some concepts. And even like the cabinetry is just pushed into the wall back here. But let's see what this does. So one thing I did figure out is when you change your scene, if I hit generate right now, it would go back to the original viewfinder. You have to hit this button a couple of times to update your viewfinder. So we're not going to respect the model geometry. Let's go back to where I had it set, and we're going to make this, this is inside of the house with light coming in over the viewers, I don't know, left shoulder from windows that face a lake. Let's just try that. And I don't know how this is sort of like for design work. This is what's that AI interface for like writing? It's been real big in the news. It's sort of like that for design work in a sense. This is really interesting. I mean, I could see how you'd use this not just to give renderings to your clients, but even to generate ideas. So if you're in a place where you're kind of trying to figure out what you want to do or add some clever pieces, you could probably run this with a high prompt influence and a lower respect model geometry, and it's going to kick out some ideas that may spark some. So, okay, so like look here, it may spark some creativity. I mean, look at that. That's absolutely fantastic. I mean, up here, it's trying to figure out what's going on with the walls up here. I get that. But look, even talking about sparking creativity, I actually like in this, there's like this beam look all the way across here, this trim piece that gives this heavy beam look. I think that's actually really sharp. It added, there's no windows anywhere, so it didn't add anything. It looks like the light, it's hard to tell where the light is coming from. It's got the staircase. It identified a back wall and a front wall. Yeah, this is really something. Let's get a different one. Download this image. Okay, so here we added some windows. It just gave me a scene out back, and for some reason, I guess it's either a mirror shooting out the other direction, or I don't know. It's all very, very modern, though, isn't it? Very clean. Let's see what this one is. I love that it gives it. Oh, see, okay, so this one's giving me light from over here. Obviously, presuming there's a window or a door, probably a door based on this piece of light. They put a giant TV over the. Oh, that's interesting. There's a lot of interpretation here in the program, but it's doing some neat stuff. What if we named a let's say light coming in from windows on the left out of frame. The style is, let's call it country traditional. Wood floors and light gray walls. Let's see what we get here. So I don't even have like doors put in here on these pantries and stuff. So it's just, I can see in this one, it's just kind of inventing what that is. It's trying to figure that out. It's interesting. I mean, I would imagine that you get into a model where you have lots of detail, you're close to the end, and you run this thing through this diffusion generator. It's probably going to be pretty remarkable. This, okay. Let's take the image. I mean, look at that. That's that is pretty neat. So this diffusion thing from SketchUp, it's new. I am not. This isn't something I've used any more than whatever time we've spent together, in about 5 minutes prior to sitting down and turning on the recorder. This is a immensely powerful tool. And I'm in the web, SketchUp for web here. That is a paid subscription from SketchUp. I don't know. I haven't bothered to look at it to see if it's in standard SketchUp or not. If I just do help diffusion, I am updated to the most current version. I just checked that. I don't see anything showing up here. Results found. So I don't. Maybe it's not in SketchUp Pro yet. I don't know. They haven't released it there, but it is on the web version, and this is a pretty powerful tool for just about anybody who uses SketchUp for a variety of reasons. And yeah, this is a game changer. This is great. And if you know V-Ray, if you haven't spent any time with V-Ray yet, V-Ray is not difficult, but it takes some time and some energy. This really eliminates for most people the need for a full understanding of V-Ray. You know, if you're just a a small time builder or something, you're trying to propose ideas or generate ideas, this is a great way to do it. Or woodworker, metalworker, anybody who's into the creative field, you're pitching ideas to clients or trying to develop ideas on your own. I could see how this is a huge development for SketchUp, and I'm eager to see where all this goes. So this is kind of my box opening, I guess, of SketchUp Diffusion. I'm impressed. I'm very, very impressed.